guys? Welcome back to Channel 4. Another reaction. We are back at it again with Miss May I dropping a lot of singles lately. I know they're gearing up for their album release that's coming out in the next couple of months or so, but they're dropping out a lot of singles. You know, that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, you know, because you could release all your good singles, you know, up front. Like all the catchy ones have been pre-released already, and then when the album comes out, you don't really have that many good tracks left on it. Or I could be completely wrong, you know. They could have a couple of like hidden gems, you know, hard-hitting ones behind the scenes that they're saving for that album stuff. But it's kind of typically, you know, a gamble when it comes to releasing so many singles, at least in my opinion, you know, because a lot of these bands like to release a lot of, you know, singles. I know with Electric Cowboy, they were releasing singles like non-stop, and when that album came out, it was pretty much nothing but singles that we typically already heard before, and it was only like 2 tracks that were only new. So typically, so that was kind of like a little bit of a letdown for me, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I like a lot of bands like to promote their stuff. I like to show off and showcase their new sound or their new age that they're doing. So, but either way, I like me some new heavy music to check out. But these guys have been sort of a hit or miss for me. You know, I like their heaviness. I love their old school melodic metalcore sound, their old nostalgic metalcore band from back in the day, which I love from them. But they kind of strayed away from that. But they're starting to pull back into that old school sound that I fell in love with these guys. But they're doing it in sort of like a different sort of weird way, I would say, because they have the melodic riffs, they have the classic, you know, string picking, but every time that chorus comes around, I don't know, I just get like, there's something in it that just makes me like not like it as much as I want to. It's just something, it doesn't really flow as good in my opinion. Just, I feel like they're, like I said, their bread and butter is their hardcore breakdowns, is their hardcore screams, is those fast-paced riffs. So I don't know, every time a chorus comes around, it just kind of lets me down in a way. But either way, I'm happy to check more of these guys out, but don't get me wrong, these guys are one of the greats, and they're all one of the original metalcore bands from back in the day that pioneered this sort of music, so I'll have to give it to them for that. And one of my very first metalcore bands I actually got myself into from back then as well, so little fun fact. But either way, hopefully this new album's good, hopefully this next one's good, hopefully this one will change my mind a little bit on these guys, and hopefully this one is a heavy hitting banger, because they always tease, they've been teasing in and leaning into this more sort of like deathcore route, this more doomy route with these like weird creepy dissonant chords, these weird creepy buildups that they've been doing. So hopefully they lean more into that, which I hope they do, because they tease it but they don't do it fully, which I hope they do. But we're just gonna have to wait what this one has to bring, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe, I appreciate it, and to really help me out. If you like Miss Man just as much as I do, be sure to like on this video as well. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, checking out some awesome music. We're just getting started on these heavy bangers, ladies and gentlemen. No time wasted, let's get right into it. This is Miss May I's newest release track titled Death Threat. Starting with that bass line. Ooh, that classic melodic riff. I gotta stand out. Let's go, boys. Come on. Oh, there it is. Bring that Monuments energy. Oh yeah, chop it up. This is a violent warning, ladies and gentlemen. Get those pits spinning. Those riffs are so classic sounding. Classic chugs. Let's go, boys. Bring me back to the 2000s. Open the pits. Bring the beat down, break down. I am too far gone. Sinking way too deep into madness. Ooh. I am too far gone. Tell me all too soon. Short and choppy beat. I am too far gone. love those tones, man. That's the old school vibe I'm running, boys. So choppy, so classic. Oh, I love that one. I like that one, man. Yeah, see, that one brought me in. That one reeled me back in. I like that, man. What a banger. What a banger. Like I said, see, they can do it, man. I like that they're going back into their old school roots. I like that they're going back to that classic sound, that classic melodic, fast-paced riff they're playing with that tight, sort of gritty, sort of like choppy riffs, breakdowns that they've been doing in there. It's very classic sounding, especially when those, drop C tones ring out. I'm pretty sure they're using drop C, but just such a classic tone for metalcore and such a classic vibe. That brings me back to when I fell in love with these guys in the first place, man. I like that. I like they didn't overcomplicate the chorus. I like that's sort of like a subtle sort of chorus sort of thing, because not gonna lie, I typically don't really like the new guys singing in the chorus sort of thing. That's just my opinion, and I know they replaced them years ago from back in the day, but I pretty much favor the old singer. That's just my opinion, but either way, I'm glad that they kind of settled the chorus this time around. They didn't really have him sing it too much. I like that it kind of mainly made it focused on the guitars, mainly made it focused on the riffs. Levi doing what he does best with those classic metalcore screams in there like he always does. But I like that they kept it subtle. I kind of like it. It did flow nicely with the rhythm on this time around. It did flow nicely with those short, crispy chops, riffs that they were doing during the chorus sort of thing. Very interesting. Very short of like a very interesting choice on how they added like a little choppy chorus rhythm in the background there. Very interesting. But like I said, very classic sounding build up to the breakdown indeed as well. Very short and crispy and choppy again, like they always do. Love their chugs. I love those fast, muted melodic, lead riffs that they're doing in there. Very reminiscent of like old school Monuments, which is probably one of my favorite albums from back in the day with them as well. So very classic, very nostalgic, this one sounding in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think. I like how they're doing this old school stuff, but that just gets me excited to check out this new album, man. I know it's coming out very soon, so when that drops, I'll definitely be on that, so be sure to stay tuned for that when I do the live stream reaction as well. But either way, I love this new tone. If they have more tracks like this one, if they have more like heavier sounding tracks like this one, we're just bringing the tones down a little bit lower, a little bit deeper, I may be in. I definitely might be in. But Levi, love his classic screams, loves his growls that he does as well. But if they keep pushing the boundaries when it comes to this old classic fused with this modern tone, I love it, man. I love it. So hopefully we get our fingers crossed, we get some more bangers coming out in that album. So hopefully they don't come out with any more new singles, because I'm going to be worried, because we're going to have to hear all these new tracks we already heard of again. So hopefully we get some, new and fresh ones saved for the album when that comes around. So yeah, but be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here, because going through every single break channel and you want to miss out on a single one. Guarantee that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Living my life